second chance to be with your true love. Home and Away, next on 7.
If you drove past a rundown old factory, you might not see the potential, but then again, you're not Christie Blizzard. Tonight, the Perth renovating queen unveils her incredible new home, revealing the tricks of the trade and her top 10 tips to make any renovation a success. Here's Mark Gibson.
When we opened the doors for the first time here, it was a bit of a mindset. Just not the sort of place you'd probably walk into and go, there's my dream home.
From a filthy old clothes factory to a stunning modern home.
With such a big space, and it is a massive space and a blank canvas, we could do anything we wanted.
This incredible North Perth makeover isn't finished, but we just had to show it to you anyway.
Thankfully, my husband and I shared the same vision, and we're a third of the way through a massive renovation and we're loving it.
You've seen the amazing transformations on House Rules where the teams are given just 7 days. Imagine what this place will look like after a 3-year reno. Christie Blizzard is a do-it-yourself dynamo, buying and renovating 10 homes, the first when she was just 18. In a moment, Christie's top 10 tips. But first, let's take a look around her place. This is your nice big kitchen.
Yes.
There's heaps of bench space. Is that one thing you wanted?
Yeah, we wanted that, but we also almost wanted it to, like our entertaining hub, so to almost feel like a pub. Concrete
floors and bench tops give it an industrial feel, while bright stools provide a splash of colour, and it all flows into a huge open-plan lounge and dining area.
With a house this size, you can't just put a little kitchen in the corner.
With 2 young children, Christie's first mission was the kids' zone. 2 bedrooms fit for princesses, their own bathroom, and a play area complete with ball pit. The envy of all their friends. You can even keep an eye on the kids from the kitchen.
When we started this project, my priority was making sure that they had a space that was theirs so they didn't have to live in the renovation.
Apart from the first few weeks, the family of 4 have lived among the renovation chaos.
I think the key to a successful renovation whilst you're living in it is definitely having a space that is clean and organised, because at the end of the day, no matter how messy you are, sometimes you just need to be able to unwind and not be surrounded in your work.
That leads us to Christie Blizzard's top 10 tips for a successful renovation. At the top of the list, know your market.
My biggest advice with renovation is know your market, whether you're renovating for yourself as a family or whether you're renovating to sell. If you know your market and you know what properties are worth, then you know what you can spend, because you don't want to overcapitalise.
Number 2, make a plan, then set a realistic budget.
And you do need to stick to it, otherwise you're going to end up in all sorts of trouble.
Number 4, live in the reno if you can to save a fortune.
The reality is not many people can afford to renovate and have a second property to live in. So it's a case of just juggling it, and you might need to find temporary accommodation, but you keep that down to a minimum and therefore saving money and having more money to invest in your property.
Tip number 5, think big.
Set your dreams sky high and then work back. There's things that aren't achievable, but there's so many things that are. So just know what you want, have your goals and work to them.
Christie uses websites like Gumtree to hire helpers. You'll save on labour by using students and backpackers. At number 7, teamwork.
If you're renovating with someone, it's definitely about teamwork. At the end of the day, you're going to be side by side with them and you've both got a common goal.
Next, repurpose. You don't have to use things the way they were intended.
If somebody's throwing out a kitchen, it might be a good idea. Maybe it won't be a kitchen in your house, but you might be able to use one of the kitchen counters as a really nice talking point.
Tip number 9, accessorise.
If your couch is old and dodgy, then you don't necessarily have to replace it. You might be able to brighten it up with some new cushions and a throw and things like that.
And rounding out the top 10, don't be scared. Go for it.
People are always so scared to paint a colour or try something in case they don't like it and they think they're stuck with it forever. And at the end of the day, they're not. If it's just a $60 can of paint, you can paint over it. So take a chance.
Or in this case, you can move an 800 kilo slab of concrete. You've already changed your mind, is that right?
Yeah, we have. What I'd like to do is take this bench here and actually just do one long big stretch of bench. My husband and I did the bench tops ourselves, so all we need to do is just move it and put a new bench on.
Christie's mega reno still has more than a year to go. There's a master bedroom to finish, even mezzanine levels and a rooftop garden. They bought the property for $900,000. The reno budget is $300,000. So for an outlay of $1.2 million, Christie hopes the home will be worth $1.6 to $1.8 million, possibly doubling its value.
Some of my initial ideas for this place we will never execute, things like an indoor basketball ring and I think I started at the craziest conceivable notion that I could and then worked back to what was possible to have in your home.
She encourages renovators to take risks and have fun.
Enjoy the ride because at the end of the day, especially if you're living in your renovation, it's a journey and you want to enjoy it, otherwise you'll never do it again.
Again, you can